we just focused on a lot of upper body stretches. Now we're going to focus on a lot of lower body stretches, focusing on opening up our quads, our hamstrings, our calves, and most importantly our hips, making our hips a lot more open. The reason why we want to do this is that way it'll make high stepping a lot easier. So getting your foot close to your hips or to your hands or your head or whatever without the use of your hand. We want to do this to help with those complicated heel hooks that require you to open up your hip instead of trying to keep them flat in. And we're also going to focus on strengthening our hamstrings and our quads. So then when we're doing like a complicated laser toe or something, our foot can swing out and connect onto that one tiny hold and still stay engaged at the same time. So that's what we're going to focus on for the lower body. This really opens up your hips, trying to keep your feet together with your hands, and maybe even relax your head. It's a really nice passive stretch for your hips. You can stay here for 5 deep breaths. Passive stretch. Slowly trying to keep your feet pointed up, your toes pulled back towards your face. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take both our hands and we're going to reach over to one foot and try and grab your foot. If you can't grab your foot, then grab your anywhere that's accessible for you. And the goal is to try and keep both feet pointed up towards the sky, okay? So you're really stretching and flexing your quads back towards your body, really actively pulling those muscles and opening them up. And at the same time, what you can do is you can stretch your side body while in this position. Reaching forward, stretching your hamstrings, everything underneath your legs in an active position. Breathing deeply for 5 seconds or so. And when you get there, slowly release. And switch over to the other side. So you're gonna wanna, same thing here, flex your muscles, push your leg down in towards the ground, making sure there's no like open spaces. Reach your left hand towards your left foot and right hand all the way over. Try and stretch your side body, actively flexing your feet back towards your face. Do that for 5 deep breaths. All right, next one is very similar to what we just did. We're gonna take our left hand, reach for your right foot, okay? So you're reaching over like this, and you're gonna take your right hand, the only difference is you're gonna bring it towards your left side. So you're gonna try to do a revolved stretch. If you can't reach anything, just stay in this position and feel a deep stretch along your entire left side of your body, as well as a stretch in your right side body. Once again, stay here for 5 deep breaths. Same thing with the other side. Left hand underneath, right hand reaches over, tries to grab that right foot. Five deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back into center. Your right foot into like a nice L position, okay? And from here, you want to bring your left leg back. Some things to focus on are to make sure that your back foot isn't being like it looks like a sickle or a big C. You want to keep it as straight as possible. Same thing with your back leg. You want to keep that as straight as possible and not like flared out over to the right or too much to the left. So you want to keep that straight. And then this really opens up your hips, stretches out your glutes. And from here, lift your chest up and bring it down towards the ground. Something to keep in mind in this pose is to relax your head. This is a really active stretch. And so relax your head onto something. It can be your fist, it can be a block, it can be the ground. Take this pose for 5 deep breaths. And maybe play around. Maybe lean your weight towards your left, lean your weight towards your right. Maybe move your hands to the left, move your hands to the right. Do what feels good for you and see what changes in your upper body or your lower body can do for opening up your hips. Normal position, and bring your left leg into that position. Send your right foot back. Half pigeon on the opposite side. Same thing here, try to keep your feet straight, your legs straight. If your back can't reach the ground, find something like a towel or your shirt or a block. Bring it under there, it'll relieve the stress and the tension. And relax your head down. Once again, here another 5 deep breaths. Bring your right foot towards forward as far as you can, and your left foot back as far as you can. And from here, relax your left leg down into the ground, and you feel like a deep stretch, opening up your quads, your left quad, and opening up your right hip. Okay, so from here, bring your hands inside of your left leg, and you can, if it feels good, relax your hands down or your elbows down, and relax your head for another 5 deep breaths. When that feels good, switch it out. Left leg as far as you can, right knee down. Got some wave action going on. And relax down onto your elbows. Relax your head. That's the most important thing. Just relax. 5 deep breaths. When that's complete, stay in this position right here, and we can get right into a quad stretch. Take your right hand, plant it down towards the ground, and then bend your right leg up towards the sky as far as you can, and really flex that leg up as far as you can and hold it there for a couple breaths. Really engaging those muscles, pulling them back towards your body, and then relax. Relax. From here, reach your left arm back and grab your foot and slowly, gently pull it in towards your body. Taking some deep breaths here. This is a very active stretch. Try to relax into the pose. Five breaths there. Let it go. Switch it out. Right leg forward. Left knee down. Left hand down. And flex that leg towards your body. Flex, flex, flex. For a couple breaths, reach back with your right hand, grab that foot, and gently, gently pull it in towards your body. Five breaths, relax it down. So the last thing we're going to focus on is strengthening our legs, actively strengthening our legs, and not only our legs, but one leg at a time. Because oftentimes when we're climbing, we're holding on to a position and we need to get our feet up higher. We have to do one leg at a time, reaching it out, or to the side, or up, or heel hooking, or whatever. So we're going to focus on that. What we're going to do first is just bring your right leg up. and hold it up, flexing your toes and using your hands to support it to bring it as high as possible. From here, release your hands and try and keep that position. Hold it there, flexing your muscles as much as you can. And bring it back down. Do that with the other side, left side. Flexing your left leg muscles. And then releasing, holding it up as high as you can. And letting it go. You want to do the same thing with your right leg. You want to reach it up, arms up overhead if you want, or to your hips. I'm just going to keep it here for now. And you're going to want to straighten it out. Flexing your toes up towards the sky. Hold it here for as long as you can. Holding it, holding it, holding it, and letting it go. Same thing with this side. Up, reaching it forward, holding it up. You don't want to compromise your standing leg. You want to keep that as straight as possible. Lowering it down. You want to bring your knee up as high as you can, and you want to hold it up with your right hand. And then the difference here is, instead of holding it straight, we want to open up our hips and try and strengthen our glutes and also our legs. Release your hands and try to hold it up in that position for as long as you can. Slowly bring it down. Same thing with your other side. Bring your left leg up, keeping your body square, straight forward, lifting it up, and then releasing, holding it for as much as you can, slowly lowering it down. Oh, this is really similar to holding your knee up, except for we're going to try to do it with straight legs, or as straight as possible. Use your two fingertips, grab your big toes or your hand or your foot, and keep yourself as straight up as possible. Maybe first starting out by supporting yourself with a pillar or something. And from here, extend your right foot out as much as you can, keeping your hips open, holding it there, flexing it out, and then let go of your fingers and try and keep your foot raised as high as you can for as much as possible. That way you're actively strengthening those leg muscles while increasing the range of motion. Once you're done with that side, switch over to the other side. Hand onto your hip, grab your foot, lift your chest up straight, and try to extend that foot as far as possible. Maybe bring your hands out, and then let go and try to hold it there for as long as you can. Final one is, we did forward, we did sideways, and now we have to go backwards. So same thing here. You're gonna want to bend forward and extend your foot out and try and keep your hips straight. That way you're focusing on your glute, strengthening that glute, and keeping your standing leg sturdy and strong, which is hard to do on the waves. Leaning forward with an upward position in your chest. Maybe keeping your hands to your hips. And try and bring your back leg as high as you can. Hold this for 5 deep breaths. When that is finished, switch over to the other side. This time your right leg planted firmly down. Chest is going to be lifting up, and your left leg is trying to reach as high as you can. So hands onto your hips, lean forward, standing leg straight, hips straight, lifting that leg as high as you can. Is by stepping your right foot forward, left foot back, not too much, not too far apart, and pretty wide, so like probably like shoulder width distance. And here, take your hands, leave them behind your back, straighten your forward leg out, and lean forward, and try and pull your right hip backwards so your body is straight, and bring your chin down towards the ground. So you want to keep your spine straight. So you're focusing on stretching your right hamstring as much as you can. If this feels good for you after 5 breaths, take your left hand and reach for the outside of your right foot while keeping your right hand on your right hip. Once again, body is straight down, square, stretching open different sides of your right leg. Same thing, hands behind your back, leg is straight, hips are straight, reaching down, stretching that left hamstring out. When that feels enough, take your right hand, reach for the outside,